88.1 XFM, Taurang's Hit Music Station. Also, another sponsored episode of Mike Time Marty. Jet's Car Grooming, all the way from Tauranga. If you want your car spick and span, just go Jet's Car Grooming. I have a fellow podcaster who is also a comedian who has interviewed some of the biggest names in New Zealand. Say hello to Eddie.
Hey, mate. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So, how did you get started doing podcasting?
It was actually during COVID. I think everybody that got stuck during COVID was just, suffering from that anxiety of I want somebody to hear me and not the wife and not the kids. I think they were tired of listening to me. So I don't know. I just kind of like there's another podcast show called the Podcastinators. And they're on the scene as well. They do comedy as well and everything. And I kind of asked them like, "Hey, how do you do the podcast?" Just wondering. And they were amazing, bro. They literally said, "Oh no, you do this, you do that. Go to this app, and then you get this, and then you." They went very technical on me as well. So I was like out of my league on that point because I'm not very computer savvy. And yeah, just watching some videos and on YouTube on how to literally just record and started doing everything with my cell phone. Nothing. I didn't, because they were telling me you need to buy this kind of microphone and buy a mixer and buy this and this and this. And I was like, yeah, first of all, I don't have the cash to do it, and then second of all, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be into podcasting. Like, I don't see it as something that it's gonna work. Like, I was probably just bored and done with the lockdown thing and COVID. So literally, I'm ashamed to say that I wasn't like I had a vision and being professional. I was just like out of boredom, and I decided to do it.
Okay, fair enough. So you were also on TikTok and you've got 14.1k followers. How does that feel?
The TikTok thing, I don't know. It's so funny because same TikTok started as a COVID thing. I saw everybody just went social. People were either Instagram or Facebook, and then TikTok was blowing up at the moment with the whole thing. But TikTok for me was, they had this bad rap of, like, this is just teenagers doing stupid stuff. And I used to be a Viner in my good old days. I did Vine, but it's just like nothing, So I started doing like a lot of videos. Like, I was doing at least one or two TikToks per week. That's what I thought. It was a lot. And I just had like 1 view, 2 views. Yeah. It was probably myself watching me, so. And this year, I don't know, it just blew up. I literally couldn't believe how people were starting liking the stuff that I did. But it was funny because half of the followers that I have are from the States. Everything was being picked up in the States, not in New Zealand. I literally didn't have any followers here in New Zealand. So it was kind of frustrating because I was doing a lot of New Zealand jokes and a lot of like comedy for here, like things that are relatable. And those videos weren't getting picked up, but then I would do my Mexican stuff or my comedy of being fat and blah blah blah, all that stuff, and then it would blow up in the States. And then I think a month ago or something, or 2 months ago, one of my videos that I did about, because a lot of my comedy is based on me looking like a Polynesian. So I like, a lot of people did, like, I'm wearing this sombrero so people know that you're actually speaking to a Mexican. But if I don't wear the sombrero, I just look like, Samoan, Tongan, whatever you want to call it, Polynesian. And it blew up with the Polynesian people. People loved it, and I was like, okay, well, let's go for it. And it's been pretty good, man.
Okay, so your bio for your link tree is a Mexican making people laugh. So Would you classify yourself as a version of Gabriel Iglesias, or does Ed have its own version of comedy?
I get that one a lot. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're the new Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy," and I always say that I'm the Fluffy that they order from Wish. Um, yeah, I'm the Fluffy you get from Wish. Actually, it was pretty funny, man. I had a really cool experience, a very fun experience when I went to the States.
Mhm.
Just right before COVID, I went to the States to do it, some comedy over there, and then I did a few shows in Mexico as well. And my one of my first shows, I did it in San Francisco, and I bombed, completely bombed. And the reason I bombed was because I went with the full stereotype Mexican jokes,
Mhm.
and literally probably 99% of the crowd were Latin Americans. So they were like, we've heard those jokes before, mate. Like, it was just like me, like it was just a fat guy trying to be Gabriel Iglesias. That's how they saw me.
Yeah.
And funny thing, I used to wear a lot of Hawaiian shirts, but I wear them because uh, it's literally a joke from him. I wear them because they fit, and it was the same thing. I used to wear them because they were very comfortable for me. And that night, some drunk guy came up to me, and he was like, "Yo, Gabriel, you're so funny." And I was like, "I'm not Gabriel." And he's like, "Ah, it's all right, bro. Come on, give me a hug." And Fluffy, Fluffy. And he called me, but he was completely out of, like, he was blasted. He was wasted. And he couldn't stop calling me Fluffy. And that's when I realized that I don't want to be that guy, like he's obviously he opened the doors for a lot of, especially Mexican, Mexican American comedians, or Mexican or Latin American comedians and all that stuff. But I don't want to be the stunt double of Fluffy. I want to make my own self. There's a lot of similar stuff that I do, because the obvious thing is that I'm Mexican. He's American, and he jokes about being American as growing up in the States and all that stuff. But I'm full Mexican. I was born, raised. My Spanish. I think my Spanish is way better than my English. Like literally, I I'm a like I can say, like, I'm a real Mexican per se. So I can play with that more than him. Because he plays with the Mexican American comedy, and I literally go with the full being an immigrant, because I'm literally an immigrant. I'm not. I wasn't born in the States, even though I sound American. That's the English that we get taught in Mexico. So yeah, it's just I'm trying to make myself. And he does a lot of clean comedy, and I don't think my comedy is clean. So I'm trying as well. And not because I cannot do clean comedy. I think that's the hardest one to make. Uh, the clean comedy is the hardest. Literally, if you make people laugh and millions laugh with clean comedy, you're set. You're set for life. It's amazing to do it, and I can't, so I might as well just stick to what I know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, Ed, this is a recurring segment I have in my show. How well are you about thinking on your feet?
I as long as I'm not standing, I think I should be able to do it, because if I'm standing, I'm gonna get tired. So other than that, I think I should be all right.
Okay.
I hope.
So I'm going to ask you some general questions, and you just got to answer them as quickly as you possibly can.
Let's go.
All right. Coke or Sprite?
Say that again.
Coke or Sprite?
Oh, Coke.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunset.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Okay. How do you have your coffee?
Black with sugar. Well, not stevia. I'm gonna buy it.
Favorite food?
Mexican food.
So tacos and
Yeah, I cannot say it's just Mexican food. Everything. I could eat a ton of whatever.
so are you into spicy food or sweet food?
Spicy, all the way spicy.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate your spice tolerance?
It used to be very high, but I had an accident like 10 no 10 years ago, actually 10 years ago, I had an accident where I went into a contest in Mexico of the spiciest chilaquiles in the world, and of course I didn't win. I ended up in the hospital. And ever since, they literally, the food burned my esophagus and my stomach. That's what happened. I had blisters on how, yeah, I don't know what they put. I think it wasn't chili. I think they just put 91 petrol and a little bit of flavor in it, and that was it. Uh, I can still tolerate more than the average, of course, but I gotta be careful if I eat like those fake sauces like tapatio, or right now here you have cataya fire, the one that you have here, or all of those ones that have a little bit like vinegar and fake kind of like conservative. They give me the heat burn. But if I eat just like the natural chili, just this like really natural, I don't have any problems so far.
So,
So far.
if I was to give you this Tabasco as a gift,
Oh man, that's yeah, that's gonna be finished in 2 days in my house.
because like, of course, us Balangis, us white boys, we don't do spicy.
It's so funny. My wife has a taco style, and it's literally all of our brown customers. They never ask about the spiciness. They just buy the stuff, and then we have like, because we want to make it to people feel like it's literally a taco style. So in Mexico, usually the taco stalls, you have the person that is making the tacos, and then on the corner you got the salsas, and then the person can go in with the tacos, and you put the salsa on top of your tacos, right? So that's what we have in our stall. And when it's brown people, they usually don't ask, but every time there's a white person, they're like, are you sure it's not spicy? And we have to tell them like, no, we make this for the Kiwis. The salsa is spicy. If you want to make it spicy, you can grab some of the salsa, but if you don't want, just eat it like that and you'll be fine. But yeah, it's quite funny that you say that.
I'd probably be going, Ed, can you not make it spicy? It'd probably be like a Mexican just gonna like, go away, just go. Don't come back. All right. If you could pick one celebrity to meet, who would it be? Dead or alive?
Ooh, dead or alive? Wow, that's a very hard one. Um, I don't know, man. I think um the person that got me into comedy, and I think that's what I fell in love with, is George Lopez. George Lopez is the guy that he the first time I saw stand-up comedy was him. I saw a few comedians in Spanish, but Mexican comedy is a little bit different from stand-up. So it was I was just impressed, seeing this brown guy, saying bad words in Spanish for a white audience and all that stuff. It was just like, I think George Lopez is a person that I would be very thrilled to meet.
Okay. If you could pick one app, like Instagram, TikTok, Tinder, I don't know, to run for one day, which app would you choose?
To run like to like direct it, or just to use, or
Just direct it. The app is
Hmm.
yours for a day.
Whew. I think Facebook.
Facebook? Okay, why?
Yeah. Um, I would just eliminate all the stupid stuff that is unnecessary on that app. I think I would like to do that. Not that I have the best judgment, but I think there's a lot of things that sometimes, like for example, I used to do a lot of things on Facebook, and I had a meme page that I had, and it was just memes, nothing taking a piss of something, and I got the page got I got to like 30 or 40K followers, and he got banned because I posted a video of it wasn't not even my video. I saw it online and I was laughing my ass off, so I decided to repost it on my page. And it was an explosion of like a petrol station, something like that. Something went bad, it exploded, and then in the explosion they edit it, and then there's a guy kind of like falling from the roof dancing salsa, and it was just like, I don't know, so ridiculous because it clicked with the song that it was playing. So it was kind of like the song building up, the explosion happens, and then a guy shows up dancing. And it got reported saying that I was sharing violence and blah, 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 and this and that. And I kind of like fought it back because you can actually fight back the result. And then they said, now we're going to put you on like lower, so I don't know, so you stop appearing to people. And then all of a sudden the page from 40K followers went to, I think right now has like 20 or 16, something like that, but it's dead. I just left it there.
Fair enough. All right, and final question. Most people seem to find this one extremely hard. So,
all right, let's go.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I probably on my second Netflix special.
Okay, that wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, I have a 5-year plan, and so far it's going according to. Well, COVID hasn't helped, but yeah, it hasn't been nice with anybody. I cannot be the victim and say, "Oh, it's been so hard." No, it just hasn't been for anybody. So, yeah, that's the plan for in 5 years. I'm pretty sure that I'll have my second Netflix special in English or Spanish, but I'll have it.
Either one. All right, well, Ed, here is your chance for redemption. You get to ask me some quick fire questions. You can be as difficult as you want.
Oh, okay. Wow, that you got me on both far. Just exactly as you did it. Just as you said it.
Yeah, just
all right. Let's see. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Seafood or regular meat?
Regular meat. Even though I love seafood, like oysters, crab, stuff like that. Regular meat. Having a big giant steak. Oh yes.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you travel and why?
Mexico.
Ah, yeah. Nice. Why?
I think it's just the culture, the language. Just hearing someone saying "hola" is like, oh, it's beautiful. And just looking at like all the scenery, the music, everything about it just makes me want to get up and dance. So
nice. That's what 3 questions, right? I'm on the 4th. If you play video games, which one, in your opinion, is the best video game to play?
Probably the latest WWE game.
Oh, okay. So you're a console guy.
Yes, I am a console guy.
Okay.
Even though I don't have 2K22 yet, I'm emphasizing the word yet. I've seen a lot of gameplay from a few of my friends, and so far it's been amazing. But one of my favorite games to play is either Minecraft or Grand Theft Auto.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
2 more.
And how many questions left? 2 more? 2 more? Okay. Yeah, I'll copy that one. Which celebrity would you like to be, dead or alive?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. That's a good one. He's a good one. And last one. What are your purpose for this year? What is the purpose for this year? Your purpose? This purpose? Yeah, purpose. Goals for this year.
I think just making a bigger name for myself, trying to get more bigger people on the show, hopefully getting merch and stuff, and possibly doing more comedy shows because due to COVID, I haven't really been able to. I've only been doing them at family functions, and that's kind of sad. So yeah, I think doing comedy, whether it be on Zoom or whether it have people masked up in motherfucking hazmat suits, I don't care. I just want to be able to do comedy and make people laugh or second guess why I'm on the goddamn stage.
That's good, man. That's good. Pretty good. Keep it up. Keep it up. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. So you mentioned, talk to us about your Netflix special.
Well, I've been lucky enough to um I might sound a little bit cocky saying those things, but I think I've been lucky enough to have enough material. Like I said, that sounds a little bit cocky to say it, but it's just I've had such a bad fucking life that it's just too much material that it just doesn't stop. Like I one of the jokes that I said the other day is like I started praying to God like 5 years ago to give me, material to talk about my comedy and all that stuff, and now I'm praying for him to please fucking stop. I'm done. Like I don't want more bad shit happening to me. Please stop. Um, because literally just it's literally that happened. This scar happened on the on December, man, and it was the stupidest thing you can ever think. I was building a wall. Yes, a Mexican was building a wall. I was helping a friend building a wall for his house, and I smashed myself with a crowbar. Like, yeah, just being dumb. Like the whole thing was stupid. And then because of COVID, I was bleeding outside of the white cross that they take me, and it looked like it was a gang related thing because my friend is a Samoan dude that looks like a biker with a big ass beard, so he drops me there, and I'm all bleeding on the face, and everyone's just like, oh my god, gang related, and it's just a fucking dumb kid not learning how to use a dumb Mexican not knowing how to build the wall. um but my Netflix special, I have two shows that I've been doing a lot here in New Zealand. The Spanish show is called, the translation goes, the name in Spanish is Ese güey parece isleño, which the translation goes that dude looks like an islander. Yeah, that's the name of the show, which is pretty accurate. I used to wear, I now my wife, another disgrace that just happened a month ago. My wife was trying to cut my hair and she messed up, so she literally balded me. So now that's why I have, yeah. I used to have like a man bun, so I looked a little bit more Polynesian. Um, and my other show, which is in English, it's called A Mexican Without Borders, which is true. There's no borders here in New Zealand, and it's about how all the experiences that I've had so far here in New Zealand. So I'm not sure if I would go with. I don't think that I would do a Netflix special for New Zealand. I would do it more for America or for Latin America, because nothing wrong with a New Zealand comedy, but you only have 5 million people, and there's a lot of amazing comedians here. So you have to compete with a lot of good comedians that are coming up, that they have, well, and to be honest, they have they have they're in their home, they know what they're saying, even though I kind of know what I'm saying about New Zealand and about the stuff that I lived. But I think it would, I wouldn't like to take the chance, or not even take the chance. I don't think I even have a chance to take it from a New Zealand comedian for a New Zealand Netflix special. You know what I mean? So I think maybe my comedy would go either to America or to Latin America. That's why I said it would be either in English or in Spanish. My Netflix special.
Right. So how would someone like me, someone that's just starting out doing comedy, doing this show, gain a Netflix special?
There's no easy way, literally. Like I wouldn't say there's this secret. It's just hustle, man. Literally, I've met a lot of famous comedians. One of the biggest comedians that I got the pleasure to interview, and to now he's my friend. And I'm very like, I sometimes, it's one of those things that you say, I cannot say that he's my friend, but it's literally, we are, we talk every once in a while, like, and he was my idol. He was one of my top 5 comedians. His name is Felipe Esparza. He has right now, he's on his 3rd Netflix special. He has an HBO special, all that stuff. And Felipe, when I was literally starting my podcast, I sent probably 2,000 emails to everyone,
Yep.
to everyone. Hey, can I do a podcast with you? Hey, can I do I got a lot of silence.
Mhm.
I was shitting myself when I got a no. I was like, oh, they answered back. Yeah. It was a no, but it was just too excited that, this person, even though I probably wasn't him, it was just the agent or whoever handles the account. Um, but it was just like, wow, like I'm making it. And then out of those probably 2,000, 3,000 emails that I sent, I got Felipe saying, yeah, man, when do you want to do it? And I was just like, wait, hold on. I was like, is this is Felipe's person? He's like, yeah, man, I'll give you the email of my publicist so you can talk to her and she can arrange it. And I thought he was just being nice to me because he's a very good like people person with his fans. And I talked to his publicist. She set up the meeting, and there he was on my Zoom call. And we talked for like the episode is just like an hour and a half, something like that.
Mhm.
But we talked like for 3 hours, man. He just dropped knowledge and knowledge and knowledge on me, kind of like not giving away the secret because there's no secret to comedy. The secret to comedy or to do all of this is just practice your craft, practice it as much as you can. Family reunions, I even though my wife hates my comedy,
Mhm.
she still hears my jokes, and I get the best feedback from her because she's pretty honest, and she says you suck, and getting that kind of feedback, is priceless because then you can be like, is it just saying this because she hates me or because this is actually shit, and that makes you improve, because you're gonna get a lot of pats in the back and be like, oh, you're so funny, you're very good, and then that's when you lose yourself. I think when you start getting a lot of pats in the back and people are saying, oh, you're super funny, you're that's when you start getting into the comfort zone, so my recommendation, man, is literally continue knocking everyone's door. I got a lot of famous people on my podcast, and I got to share a stage with a lot of people, that has been on the comedy industry as well, just because I was annoying.
Mhm.
Simple as that. I think either they did it because this stupid Mexican kid's not, guy. He's just non. Like I don't want to block him, but I don't know. It was Mayor just pure, just hustling. Kind of do it like that, and find something that represents you.
Mm.
I think every comedian, they call it your niche. How find your stuff, your it, your whatever you want to call it. Um, in my case, for me was being fat, and I say was because I literally am trying to lose the weight, but also it's when I was just doing the fat comedy, I became fluffy.
Yeah.
So now my niche is me, myself, all the stories that I had as a parent, as a husband, as a construction worker, as a office, as a gamer, that kind of stuff. And there's people out there that are very related to that, that they're literally husbands and their parents, and they're gamers, and they're this and then that and all that stuff that can relate. So you don't have to be black, brown, or some ethnicity to be funny. uh, one of my favorite comedians from New Zealand, his name is Thomas Chapman,
Mhm.
and I think he's a very underrated comedian. I think he should be already, out there, in my opinion, because oh my God, his comedy is just brilliant. And he's genuinely really, 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 really funny. So uh, you have to find that part. Just get that, and once you find it, comedy is just gonna not become easier,
Mhm.
but you're gonna be able to explode that part.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that all of a sudden your jokes are coming and going. No, it's that things are, you feel more accepted in that area. You know, so I think that could be the best advice, and one that Felipe told me, and that always works for me. That's the best one that he told me. When you think you're doing a good show and when you already have a like your good set of your 6 minutes or 10 minute set, usually everybody finishes with their best joke. You know, that's the best thing to do because you finish on a high. He said to me, when you're doing that and you realize that you have a joke to finish every single time, and that's gonna make people laugh their shit off, don't finish with it. Start with it. Why? Because that's gonna challenge you to create more good comedy. Because then you get into a comfort zone of saying, "Oh, I already have a joke that people are gonna laugh their ass off." So then you start getting very compliant on everything, you know. So that advice, when he told me that, I was like, I never saw it into that perspective, you know, and it has worked insane to me. Like that I've used it so many times, and that creates more content as well for me.
So, what was your reaction when I asked you to be on the show?
I was like, oh yeah, man. Like, literally, I'm always, every time that someone tells me, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Even with my followers, they're like, hey, I'm getting a lot of messages of, can you do a live? Can you do this? Can you answer this? Can you? And I do it, man. You know, I have so many pending barbecue invitations after the TikToks that went viral, and I told everybody, just send me a message, and if I can, if the wife allows it, I'll go. You know, I'm just jumping into everything. You know, so I'm always. I always try to use Felipe as an example, but there's a lot of comedians that do the same thing. Corey Gonzalez did it with me as well. Tofiga did it with me. You know, they are big names in comedy, and you know, it was just, you know, pretty easy. We're very chill, you know, even though they already are established in this industry that is very hard to compete. They still don't forget that part, you know. So was other people that they're just starting and they got a little bit of fame, they forgot about it, you know. And I don't want to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
You know, I think the best way to do it is just to keep, you know, yourself available to everybody, because and this is me saying it, and probably it's gonna cause a little bit of uh stir around the New Zealand comedy industry, but New Zealand comedy, it's very closed. They are, the way that I say it is that it's a certain group and they don't let anybody else enter. You know, it's very enclosed, and there's, because you can see, especially COVID is making it more obvious because everybody's stuck in New Zealand, you know. So all the same comedians are all the time doing the same shows. And you get all these comedians, even in the TV shows, you get the same comedians over and over and over. I'm not saying they're bad comedians; they're amazing comedians, they're good comedians, but you don't see nobody new coming in, you know,
Yeah.
because it's a very enclosed. And then the difference with the states, and even in Mexico right now, that stand up became pretty big. It's not enclosed. Everybody can come. Everybody can become something big, you know. And if someone says the opposite, you can tell them, just look at the dry bar. You know, if have you, I don't know if you've seen that show on YouTube or on Facebook, the Dry Bar Comedy Club. They're amazing, man. I contacted them and they said, hey, whenever you want to come do a show, let us know, and we'll put you on the dry bar. And I was like, really? You would put me on the dry bar? And I was like, yeah, man. And I was like, wow, you know, like that was quite the surprise, you know, and everything. So, and here, to get a spot in those kind of big situations, it's nearly impossible. Was in the States and in other countries that comedy is still not enclosed, because I think the reason it's enclosed in this country is because you don't have much audience.
Mhm.
You know, I think the biggest. I just started a show. There was this. Actually, I'm wearing their shirt. They're called the Latin Club,
Mhm.
and they're from Argentina and from Colombia, and they do all the like big parties in Auckland and sometimes in Tauranga and sometimes in Wellington, like the biggest ones. And one of the guys went to see one of my comedy shows in Spanish, and he came up to me and he was like, "Bro, you're so funny. Do you do this in English?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do this in English as well." He said, "Hey, would you like to be the MC for the parties?" And I was like, "What do I need to do?" And he's like, "Do some comedy, present the DJs, throw some stuff." And at first, I wasn't very like, it's like it's a party, you know. Why do you want to have like I don't want to be the fucking, clown of the party, like how do you call those things? Like the mascot? I don't want to be the mascot of the fucking event. And he was like, "Come on, give it a try." He was like, I'll give you some cash." And I was like, "It's not about the money, man. It's just I wasn't feeling it." And then he was like, "Give it a try, and we'll see."
Mhm.
And I went, man. And the first show that I did, the first MC that I did, we had 2,000 people, man. And 2,000 people got to hear my jokes, and everybody was laughing, and everybody was just enjoying, the whole Mexican stereotype, blah blah blah, and they loved it. And ever since I've been doing them now for a year and some months with them. Every time there's a big party, I'm the one there doing their events, and it's getting bigger and bigger, man. So uh, they opened a bar. That's where my point. I think I'm talking too much. You tell me when to shut up. Um, they opened a bar recently in Auckland this February. They opened it, and they said, "Hey, we want to give you your night. We want to do a comedy, and we want you to run it. And you get the comedians. We'll sell the tickets. If the bar goes good, we'll give you guys some money. Blah blah blah, all that stuff." And we did it, but then this Omicron hit, and we had to cancel all the gigs and all blah blah blah. The bar just suffered and everything. But it's quite hard, man. Like right now, like there's probably one or two people surviving in comedy at the moment. I'm talking about bars, not people, like bars surviving with comedy and that kind of thing. And they're just the biggest names, with the big comedians, and that's it.
Yeah.
Small venues are just they're not going for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I got a call from a guy in Palmerston North who wants me to go perform at the Global Theatre. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do it. Spoke to my uncle and he's like, dude, it's so fucking hard to get in there, let alone seeing a show, but also performing. It's so hard to get in there. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, man.
Like, I may be 19 and like not developed, but being able
It
to like,
doesn't matter, man.
yeah, fair
It
enough.
doesn't. It doesn't matter. Literally, every single time they give you the chance to throw it. I've done it even in my work, man. Like we used to, because I work in construction, right? That's what I do for a living. Every time we used to have this so-called shared like toolboxes and meetings with the boys, there was a microphone, and then we're like, "Yo, Ed, you want to warm up the guys?" And I would just jump and start doing jokes. you know I would have sometimes 40 guys, sometimes I would have 100, 200 guys, and I would be just throwing out jokes and making, giving it gives you the opportunity to try out a lot of stuff and challenge yourself. So every single time that you get a show, that it doesn't matter, how shit it is, go for it. I always said there's no shit shows. There's just shows. Simple as that. And so if you, and kudos on that one, man. Go for it, man. When is it gonna happen?
Hopefully soon. There was one last week where they wanted me to come, but I couldn't get there. But now that I've got a ride there, I've got all my material. Hopefully as soon as they want me. So
I tell you, man, this is a quite cool, very cool story. And that happened here in New Zealand. That's when I started doing the Spanish shows in New Zealand. Um, I did the Fringe Festival in Wellington, and I did two shows, one in English and one in Spanish. The English one was pretty good, man. I got Tofiga in the crowd. You know, Tofiga went to see my show, and it was so funny because everybody was either white or Latin American in the crowd, and then Tofiga right at the front, you know. And at the very end, I even throw a joke, you know. If you, and I said, you know, if you're wondering who's this guy, he's actually my uncle. He's my right, you know, just to throw in the Polynesian jokes, you know, throw it, and then they loved it, you know. Everybody was like cracking up. And then I said, no, he's one of the legends of New Zealand in comedy and blah blah, you know, Laughing Samoans and this and that. And well, anyway, long story short, a guy sends me a message on Messenger and he says, "Hey, I'm a DJ. I live in Waiheke and I do parties here in Waiheke, but I want to do a comedy show. Do you want to come and do it?" And I was just like, "Where's Waiheke?" First of all, I've never been to Waiheke before, you know, so I was like, what's that? Is that South Auckland? And he was like, "No, it's an island." And I was like, "Oh, do I have to take a flight?" He was laughing. He was like, "You genuinely don't know where Waiheke is?" And I was like, "I don't know where Waiheke is." He said, "You take the ferry, you come here and blah blah blah, and we'll do a Spanish show." And I was like, "A Spanish show on an island?" And I was like, "Who's gonna be there?" He got 200 people, and like it's called Palm Springs, and they have like a kind of like a room for event, like weddings, kind of like conference kind of thing. And he fit like almost 200 people. And I did that an hour show, something like that, of comedy in Spanish. And he blew up, man. They were like, "Yo, we want you back." I went again. Same thing happened. And then this guy moved to Tauranga, and he did the same thing. He said, "Hey, you want to come to Tauranga do shows?" And I was like, "Tauranga?" I'm like, "Where is that?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah." And same thing, you know, he convinced me, and I said, "Let's go for it." And same thing, you know, we sold out the shows, and I got to do 3 shows in Tauranga in Spanish. And so I was just like jumping all around doing Spanish gigs in New Zealand, you know. It's just weird. But because of COVID, a lot of Latin Americans got stuck, and they're here, you know, and there's a big Latin American community that also helped my comedy, because a lot of my comedy was very Mexican. And the Latin Americans that you have here are either Chilean or Argentinian.
Mm.
So a lot of the jokes that I said the first time were very Mexican, that people laugh because I was just being funny, but you could see their faces when they say something that you realize it's funny, but you're like, what is that? You know, something like that. That was the laugh that I was getting. And then I switched it to a lot of comedy between South Americans and Mexico, because we have like a banter between our countries.
Mm-hmm.
And it blew up, you know. They loved it, and everybody was just, you know, loving it even more, you know, because that helped me out to become a little bit more internationalized, if you want to say it, in my own language, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that opened up a little bit of, you know, the doors on not just getting now, like literally a lot of my followers in Spanish, I think I have maybe 10-20 Mexicans, and then the rest are, you know, from South America, which it's brilliant, you know. So I think that's something that you need to try out, you know. Go for it, you know. Don't stop, you know. Every kind of show that they tell you to do it, you know. Everything. If you can do it, you know. As long as you have the possibility, jump on it. Improv, whatever, just go for it, you know. Don't think about it.
Yeah. All right. Ed, have you seen a show called Hot Ones?
With the wings, yeah, I know which one you're saying. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's watching, but Sean, if you're watching this, sorry, but I'm going to take an idea from that show. I'm going to dabble into your Instagram,
Okay.
and you have to just explain that gram.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Wait, let's go through. Oh, what the heck is that? Okay. All right.
Oh, that one with the condoms. That's a video of they apparently they I literally stole that video, but I made it New Zealand wise, where it says that they created these condoms that they would light up if you have any kind of STD.
Mhm.
And then at the very end of the video, you see a window, and then there looks like there's a party. And I said, "This is happening in Hamilton," you know, just like that, literally, just throwing the ball at the Hamiltonians for the STDs.
All right. Um, this next one is a few text messages and you saying, "Please stop. I'm on a diet."
Oh, um, I, as the fat guy that I am, I subscribe and join every single reward place for any kind of food industry. And I think that was either Domino's Pizza or Pizza Hut or something like that. They send you like offers, like, oh, this today you can go. And I was just like, please stop! Like they're just making me hungry every single time.
Oh my gosh.
Because that was like the 10th. I literally that week received one message every day of different promotions. I don't know if they were just spamming or they were actually doing a lot of promotions, but they were. I was just literally just receiving so many messages. I was like, please stop! I'm on a diet.
All right. If you see tacos, you need to get your life together.
Yeah, literally, man. Those are pineapples.
Those are pineapples.
Yeah, man. But literally, for me, I posted it. It was so funny because I literally saw the photo and I was like, man, I hate when people post like, because this is literally that happens with Mexicans.
Mhm.
We hate Taco Bell. We hate it. We passion. We don't like people saying that Mexican food is Taco Bell, right? So when I saw it and I saw the word taco, I was like, these tacos look like fucking Taco Bell. I was like criticizing them, and I was just like, why do they post every single time Taco Bell tacos? And then I realized that it was a fucking pineapple, and I was like, oh shit, this diet is killing me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. And last one. When you make a joke in front of your psychologist and instead of laughing, she starts writing it down.
I think that's the face that my wife does every time I tell her a joke. It's just relatable, man. Like sometimes she's like, she looks me dead in the eye and she's like, why would you think that's funny? Oh man, when she says those ones, it's just like, that's the worst heckle you can get.
When it's a family member and you try and telling a joke and they're like, do you really think that's funny? I'm like, fuck, it's actually not.
Yeah, it happens all the time, man.
All right. So when it comes to doing comedy, like I do voice impressions, I play with cards, I try and find new ways to do comedy. How do you come up with your content?
It's gonna sound a little bit sad and funny at the same time. It's everything that I say happens to me.
Mhm.
Everything. Literally, all the jokes that I have are real, like 99% real. I maybe tweak some things to make it a little bit funnier or more funnier. But like for example, one of my jokes that I have is that uh, in Mexico we don't have those things, but in New Zealand it shocked me when the Lime scooters came in, and I was just like, wow, Lime scooters, and my thought is like in Mexico they would have steal them, and resell them on the streets. Um, but the funny thing is that they have a weight limit,
Mhm.
and the app tells you one person at a time. And I kind of like that happened to me because I tried to use one of the Lime scooters and it couldn't lift me up. It was just like not because Auckland has a lot of high. We were like kind of like up the hill,
They
and I
would,
was just like, yeah, let's go for it. And it was like not moving, and I was like, this is not working. And then one of my mates is like, let me give it a try. He jumps on it and he starts driving off, and I'm like, oh, you bitch. So those kind of things happened to me, like it's I got stopped by the police on lockdown, uh, because when Jacinda allowed the takeaways to be opened again, this was last year. I got too excited, and I was just like, I need my McDonald's, I need some McDonald's. I conveniently live a few blocks from McDonald's. So they literally, they put like a police stop. They were checking, how people were driving to different, and they were not allowing people to go to other cities. Well, there was one roadblock to get to my McDonald's, and I got stopped, and it was funny because I get stopped, and the police officer tells me, where are you going? I say, I'm going to McDonald's. And he was like, where do you live? And I literally just did this there, because and the McDonald's is there, like literally you can see it, like it's just like something like that. And he's like, oh, you live there? And it's like, yeah, okay. And what are you gonna do? And I was like, I'm gonna get some burgers. And he was like, okay. So you're going to this McDonald's? And I'm like, yeah, that's the only one that I can go to. So we had a very awkward conversation, me and the police officer.
Mhm.
And he was just, I don't know if he was trying to be either very serious or just sarcastic with me.
Yeah.
But then he was like, so why you didn't walk to it?
Oh, fuck.
He said that to me. Then I look at him and I'm like, you can't do that on the drive-through. And he was like, oh, true. But it was just like those awkward moments, like kind of like The Office, where everybody's just being sarcastic. It was just literally that happened. And then he was like, on your way, sir. So I went, I bought a shit ton of food, man. And then on my way back, I got stopped again
Oh, for fuck's sake.
by another police officer.
I thought it was going to be the same one.
No, it was different. And then he looked, but here's the funny thing. He stops me, he looks at me, and then he looks at the McDonald's stuff. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he lets me go. And then I was like, why? And then I stopped, like kind of like leveled to him. And I was like, why you didn't ask me questions? And he was like, oh, because they already radioed us that a fat guy was going to drive through with a lot of food. And he started laughing, and it was just kind of like a funny moment. But literally that happened, like I wish I could lie about that happening, but it literally happened, so a lot of my comedy just goes there, with all the funny situations. And when you have kids, it makes it even funnier. So a lot of, I think probably maybe 30% of my comedy is myself and all the funny things that happen to me, and then 70% is being married and having kids. And my kids are, literally very funny because I have a Mexican daughter that I brought from, that I always say that I stole from Mexico, and and I already have a son that was born here, so he's the immigrant in the family, So I always joke about that, he being Kiwi and we being Mexican, and his name is actually Residency, and all that, that kind of like, just go into that kind of detail, and then he doesn't eat spicy food because he's a Kiwi, and he only eats pies, and he doesn't like tacos because he prefers fish and chips. So we feed them local, we have to feed them all the local food from New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I joke about, that's kind of like where my comedy goes. So it's literally, so far I don't like to go into politics like a lot of comedians go. I don't like to go into religion or sports or that kind of. Sometimes I mention stuff from my country that people want to know. Like one of the most, my opening joke is always that one, that I'm Mexican, I'm legally here. That's kind of like the statement of, ha ha ha, Mexicans are legal. It's a funny joke. So it's kind of like the furthest that I try to go, and sort of way that I want to keep it relatable. Because if I start speaking about something that I'm not very familiar with, I'm afraid of messing it up or offending someone that I'm not familiarized with. So even with the Polynesian stuff, like the Polynesian jokes that I say is stuff that I just that happened to me, you know. So it's that's how I do my comedy and write my jokes. I
Yeah.
used to do a lot of noises and voices as well, but I stopped doing it because of Fluffy. Man, it just sucks to be fat and Mexican and brown, man. Everybody's just fluffy, 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 you know. So I had to kind of like separate myself
Yeah.
from that.
Oh gosh. Like with me, I talk about stuff that's happened in my life, but also I don't know why, but one of the most famous voice impressions I do is Donald Trump.
There
And
you go, man.
everyone, literally everyone, every time I do a comedy show, every time I do a live stream, they're like, do Donald Trump. I'm like, I do other things. And they're like, oh, we'll gift you, we'll give you money if you do Donald Trump. I'm like, okay, fine. I do it. And then there's times when people would say like, oh, you need to come up with better content. I actually did a little skit of me on a Lime scooter, and all my friends were like in front of me, and I was just there slowly moving forward. A lady on a motherfucking scooter who was about 90 years old passed me, and she's like speed up. I'm like, I'm fucking trying. And yeah, most of the time it's mainly stuff that's happened in my life, but then there's other times I'm just like, you know what, screw it, let's talk about politics, or let's do like, we're gonna be world, it's gonna be amazing, that I can tell you. And people seem to love it. So
Do it, man. Literally, you know what you can do? You can literally find um a lot of if you can do again, that was a pretty good impression, man. And kudos for that one. You can do a lot of, you know, what would happen if Trump does this? What would happen if Trump says this? Or here is Trump reading um, the most difficult life in his most difficult book in their life, and he's just reading the ABCs.
yeah,
You know, something like that. You know, like pull it on that kind of way. That could be something pretty big, man. There was one guy actually in American's Got Talent, no, I think, or Britain's Got Talent, that he literally made it all the way to the semifinals just doing Trump.
mm-hmm.
So you know you can pull it off, and it's something that not many people. Imitation is something that it's pretty hard, you know, and you can if you can pull off another politician that is quite famous in your repertoire, you know, making having a conversation with Trump would make it even, you know, insanely funnier, you know, like kind of thing. Or you can pretend to be a little kid having a fight with Trump, you know, something like that, you know, like that gives I always joke about that. I'm actually really sad that Trump's not longer in power, you know, because he I had so much material because of him. Now I don't.
Yeah,
And do it, man. Literally, you know, as long as he's alive, fucking milk the guy.
yeah. Also I do Barack Obama, and for I think it was for another family event. They always seem to be goddamn family related. I did education with Trump, and it had like some Stewie Griffin, Mr. Burns, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and everyone's like, dude, that's fucking sick, but can you keep doing Donald Trump? I'm like, God sake. And I was like, you know, I do other presidents, and like, who? I go, Barack Obama, or whoa, or my fellow Americans. And they're like, shit, we didn't know. All we heard was begin of the world. I love my job.
I always say, man, whatever the public wants, you know, give it to the people. You
Because
know, and you're always gonna get a hater or two or three haters saying, "Oh, I don't think that's funny," or they're gonna say, "Hey, can you do something else?" You know. But if you have two people saying that, and then 100 people saying, "Please do more," go for the 100. You know, it's easier to keep the 100 than keep two happy. You know, so And that's what you should, that's how I found my stuff. It's especially on TikTok at the moment that it's blowing up. It's insane, man. Like literally every video that I've been posting just gets. I think the last video that I posted. Let me see if I'm not mistaken. Now TikTok doesn't even give me notifications anymore of the amount of pictures that I last one that I just posted it yesterday afternoon, and it has right now almost 1,000 likes and 7,000 views,
Mhm.
and it's about Polynesians, and people seem to love it, and even Polynesians loved it, like people are, like, oh, obviously without falling into being racist kind of thing, you always have to be careful on that side of who are you punching down, so if you can do that, man, blow it up, man. Blow it up. I would do a podcast just you being Trump, man.
I mean, if you want to, I'm down. I'm free all the goddamn time.
Just kind of like get a lot of stuff that you can read to people. Say the news, saying Trump doing the news, and you just throw away some like fake news, all the, I don't know, but always on favor of what he is, because he's a Republican, if you want to say per se. So you're in New Zealand, make it a national, make it if you want, if he's for running for the National Party in New Zealand, make it, I would love to hear something like that, just push it on that, push those buttons,
Yeah.
instead of Judith Collins, now you got Trump, and Trump's it's running for prime minister here in New Zealand, and then just saying, and try to mock about, all what the stereotype of how the National Party is and blah 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 and this and that. That could blow up, man.
Ooh. Might have to try that out. All right, Ed, are you ready to play the proper game?
Proper game. Okay, what is that?
All right, so I have a series of cards here, and this is a game I like to call Third Time's the Charm. So basically, I'm going to give you a category, and you've just got to name 3 of them.
All right.
Okay, so name it 3 brands of chocolate.
Ooh, Jesus, Nestle,
Yep.
Cadbury, and what's the Nutella one? Ferrero.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ferrero.
Cool. Name 3 celebrities beginning with the letter B.
B as in
Banana.
bus. Okay. Jesus. Bruce Willis.
Yep.
Brian Adams. Shit, that's just discovering my age. And gee, I don't know. Bruce Banner. No, I can't think of anybody else with B. Why?
The Queen.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, yeah.
Hey. All right. Name 3 brands of clothing.
Oh, I suck at those things. Sarah.
Yep.
Cotton On.
Yep.
And Dolce Gabbana.
All right, sweet. Name 3 languages you can speak.
English, Spanish, and Japanese.
Muy bien. All right. I've been practicing. All right. Name 3 celebrities that you would love to meet.
I already said George Lopez. Obviously Gabriel Iglesias. I think it'd be good to, without looking in the mirror. And Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. All right, sweet. Name 3 people you wish weren't famous.
3 people I wish weren't famous. Those kids that were like very buzzing on TikTok. The Island Boys, I think they just yeah. Um, there's another guy that just got destroyed in the Latin community. His name is J Balvin.
Oh yeah.
And uh, the whatever Kardashian you want to put.
All right. If you could pick a talk show host like my show, like Jimmy Fallon, Ellen DeGeneres, stuff like that, name 3 shows you would want to be on.
What's Trevor Noah show? The Daily Show.
Yep.
The Daily Show. Trevor Noah. Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel. That's the Tonight Show or the Late Night Show?
No, Tonight Show.
The Tonight Show. And SNL.
No,
No, but that's not a host one. That's not a host one. Sorry. God, I cannot. Let's go with Oprah. Let's go high.
Why not? Let's go with it. All right. Name 3 colors that aren't in the rainbow.
The orange in the rainbow?
Yeah, so name 3 colors, but you can't pick the colors that are already in the rainbow.
Okay. Brown.
Yep.
Magenta.
Yep.
And Jesus. No, Jesus is not a color. Wine.
Wine. Okay, cool. Name 3 foods that you hate.
How can you say that to a fat person, man? We. Carrots, broccoli, and lettuce.
All right, and final one. Besides doing comedy and doing all your amazing stuff, show us a secret talent.
Secret talent.
Yep.
Oof. Let me get my wife. No. Yeah. I can do a lot of animal noises,
Okay.
like with my kids, like I know I don't know what more animals I can do, but I can do a lot of animals I can think of.
You're doing those bird noises. My cat's just like, what the fuck was that?
I used to freak people out because that sounds like Mexicans are really good at whistling. Yeah. So I used to do that in the construction site, and even the cricket one, I like to do it when I'm in line. Mm-hmm. And my kids know I can do the sound, so they're just like mischievous laughing with me, and it's so funny because I don't know. I think that last time I did it, we were at the I think it was Countdown or Pack and Save, and I was just like, the line was quite long, and I was just like, and people were just like looking for the fucking cricket, and we were just laughing. And when they look back to see the sound, and I'll be like, I can hear it too. And I was like, yeah, can you hear it? I can hear it too. Yeah, no. And then it would turn around, and, just for the sound again, just to put them off, just for the fun of it.
I love it. All right, well, Ed, again, here is your chance for redemption. You get to ask me some third times the charm questions. You can ask me about a secret talent. Basically, the floor is yours. My talk show is yours.
All right. Let's see. Name your favorite 3 candies. Or lollies, whatever you guys call it here.
Yeah, lollies, candies, either way. Licorice, M&Ms, and I love Reese's.
Reese's Pieces, that's a good one. 3 international foods that you cannot eat.
Habaneros. I'm basically going to be labeling spicy food. Habaneros. I wouldn't really call it international, but I hate honey. So
Really?
that'd be one.
Okay.
And then probably frog's legs.
Frog legs are quite popular in Mexico, actually. Um, let's see. Kill, date, and marry. You have to pick one. Like who would you kill? Who would you marry? And who would you date?
Okay. So kill, marry, date.
Yeah.
Okay. I would date Pink. I would marry Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
And I would kill Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin.
Nice.
Even though I hate that I can sound like both of them.
Nice.
Hate it.
Let's see. Name 3 of your favorite sitcoms.
3 of my favorite sitcoms: Big Bang Theory, Friends, and Blackish.
Blackish. Okay. 3. Let's see. 3. You already said international food. What about 3 food that you cannot stop eating?
Steamed buns, like pork and chicken steamed buns. Macaroni and cheese. And pancakes.
Nice.
Skinny white boys love pancakes. 2 more.
Let's see. If you were in a desert island, 3 things that you would take.
My phone. Oh, actually, no, that'd be stupid. I would probably take my Mountain Dew. I would probably take my sunglasses, and I would probably take my little belly bag, because then that means I can stuff it in with more shit.
Yeah, nice.
Last
And
one.
3 artists or musicians or whoever you want to call it that you hate.
Okay. Island Boys, even though they're not classified as artists.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Nicki Minaj, and I'm not a big fan of Justin Bieber.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. All right. So this is part 2 of the game, the proper game. Dun dun dun. I'm going to give you a scenario. So, like, you're at the supermarket. You're sitting in Hawaii drinking cocktails. I don't know. And you have to do a comedy skit surrounding that scenario.
Okay.
So we'll go backwards and forwards. Let's go with you're at the supermarket and you want the last, let's go, packet of Oreos, and someone takes them. How would you make that funny?
Someone takes my last packet of Oreos?
Yep, someone takes the last packet of Oreos.
Oof. Do I have to act it, say how I will make it funny, or how would it go?
So just act it out, but make it funny.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Someone just took my packet of Oreos. I would try to catch up whoever the person took it, and depending who they are, I could play it as no, that wouldn't be funny. Or maybe it'd be funny. No. Wow, oh, you caught me on off guard. I cannot think of anything funny of that one because there's nothing funny about taking someone's fat people food. You know, there's nothing funny. You make him aggressive. That's a very easy way to get a fat person aggressive with, especially when you're talking about cookies. Um, I would just probably just like stare at them and be like, giving them like like the meanest face I could make,
Mhm.
and then follow them around, and then while they're not looking, steal them. Well, not stealing because I'm actually gonna pay for them, but stealing from where they have it. You know, just take it from them. You know,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know.
All right. What's one for me?
Um, you just made me. It's you made me remember. I just felt like. Have you seen that? Yeah, have you seen the movie Ted 2?
Yes.
When they're doing the improv show that they go and they're just yelling
Oh,
stuff at the improv. You just made me feel like that improv group. And they're like, who wants to give us suggestions? 9/11.
Jeffrey Star.
Um, uh, uh, let's see. You're in the on the beach
Mhm.
and you just got you stepped on a one of those spiky things like how do you guys call it? Or there, I've seen a lot of TikToks of people eating them. The quinoa one, the
Oh yeah, Kenners.
yeah, those the spicy things. You stepped on it.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. I don't know why I'm at the beach. I'm white. I'm probably going to turn into a motherfucking tomato. But either way, all right. Jandals are off. All right. You got everything? Cool. Yeah, I need my towel because I don't want sand to go on my crack. Yeah, okay. Fuck. Oh, sorry. I just stood on your dinner. My bad.
Nice. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
All
And
right.
then you can say at the other end, "Can you pee on me?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's poisonous. Fire away. All right. Let's go with. All right. You finally get to meet your idol, George Lopez.
All right.
Um, you are in the hot sun, you're sweating profusely, and he goes to shake your hand. Now your hands are extremely sweaty, and you gotta try and make it look like it's normal.
Uh, I'm probably gonna be like, um. So am I shaking his hand
You're
while
shaking
it's sweating?
Lopez's hand, and your hands are extremely sweaty, and you have to try and make it normal.
Okay. I would just be like, uh, um, sorry, Mr. Lopez. You know, I just put a lot of antibacterial gel on my hands, and that's what's happening. COVID, you know, just protect ourselves, protect you, protect me. You're a national treasure, so I'd rather me die than you. So just do it, something like that. Or yeah. Oh my God, I gotta think of something else. Or maybe say to him, be like, don't you just say when that happens, and just make an awkward silence moment between us,
Hmm.
just looking at that in the eye and be like, don't you just say when this happens. Two,
Okay.
two Mexicans on the sun, under the sun, probably about to get deported. Not maybe just me because I'm the illegal. You're born here. I don't know, something like that.
Oh, all right. What's another one for me?
Um, you mentioned that you would um date Pink. Let's say that you're on the date with Pink, right, in a restaurant,
Yep.
and she just tells you to go, that she's going to the toilet, but she never comes back.
Okay. Okay. I look professional here. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Oh, you gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, no worries. I'll just sit here. Shit, it's been like 20 minutes. Has she fallen in? Yeah, yeah, pink. Oh, she left. She wanted me to pay for the bill. Oh, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. Yeah, Marcus. Yeah, she did it again. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Nice. That's a
I
good
don't know
one.
who the
That's a good
fuck
one.
Marcus is, but for some
There
reason.
you go. Someone has to be my name, Marcus. Can be Marcus.
Exactly. All right, well, Ed, I'm going to give you the floor. Promote yourself. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Let the people know what's going on.
Um, my name is Edd Rivera, as you're probably gonna see it on the name on the post or wherever is this going. Um, Currently I'm doing a lot of TikTok at the moment, just focusing on TikTok and on Instagram as well. So I'm trying to get my followers up now on Instagram. YouTube, I still have YouTube and I have a lot of my shows there. So if you want to check some of my comedy, you can check it there. Um, Facebook, I have my page and I my link trees as well on everywhere. So you
Mhm.
can check all the stupid stuff that I do. Every Thursday on Auckland, we have this show. At the moment, got canceled for this month, but we're coming back this April. So we start on, let me see, the dates is next April, Thursday. So it's going to be April 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, which is every Thursday.
Mhm.
Um, the bar is called Il Bruto. It's a very new bar. The show, if you want to look for it, it's called the Underground Comedy Show. I'm the host, so I present all the comedians. Last last sessions that we had, it was just comedians coming up and do shows. Now we're having headliners. So our first headliner is Nick Rado for the 7th. On the 14th, we're having Heta Dawson. On the 21st, we're having Courtney Dawson, which she just literally got her new TV show on Maori TV, which is called Rex. Rex, and I'm gonna sound horrible promoting this one, but she has this new TV show. And the last one is Corey Gonzalez McClure, which he's our last headliner, and a lot of other comedians that they're gonna be opening for them and myself. So it's a pretty cool show. The bar is amazing. They have a lot of cool drinks, and it's a very new bar, so it's pretty cool if you can support local comedy. Uh, I always tell everybody, if you don't want to come see us, don't come, but keep supporting comedy. It doesn't matter if you go to the famous places or you to your local bar or to the small bar, whatever. Support comedians. If it's a free comedy show, go and laugh. New Zealand has this problem that people go to comedy shows and they don't laugh. I think that New Zealand needs to be trained in that one because in the States and a lot of places that I've done comedy, when you pay for comedy or you go to a comedy show, it's to laugh. Don't take it personal. Someone might be shit, someone might be very good. Maybe that comedy is not for you, maybe that comedy is for you, but just laugh. You're already there. You're already having a beer. If you went by yourself, I'm sorry for you. If you went with friends, uh, enjoy with your friends. They might get picked up by the MC and start getting bullied by them, and um, just kind of. I think right now we need to grow. Not just our industry is big enough.
Mhm.
Now we need the audience to come back to us. Uh, we have a lot of famous people, but still, all of those famous people at some point they were small. And those small comedians that are starting, they need to be supported. And the bigger we go to the shows, the more we create shows, the better for everybody to get an opportunity to maybe try it out, fail, and don't come back, or keep doing it till you get and say, hey, remember that guy? Now he's doing this. Now he's over there. Now he's doing that. You never know who you're gonna talk to, and a true testament to this is that anything can happen. I remember I did a show. I did a few shows with a guy called Joe Damon,
Mhm.
and then he blew up on TikTok, and then boom, he's now doing a show for Comedy Central. He's doing shows for Marty TV. We were lucky enough to have him on my first show that I did at the Underground Comedy, which was pretty cool that he came and it was his first time doing comedy after a few years. So it was pretty cool to have him for the first time, which was kind of cool that he decided to join us. So like I said, everybody, starts somewhere and listen to the podcast, follow Martin, it has to be, um, I know you might think a like or a follow doesn't help, but it does. It does. It does. Uh, Anything counts. Anything counts. It doesn't matter where you follow it. If it's for the podcast, follow for the podcast. If it's for the comedy, follow for the comedy. If it's as long as they are called or they call themselves creator contents, do it. I think that's the most important thing.
All right. Well, Ed, last question before we sadly conclude this interview. Please, no tears. Who would you like to see next on the show? I could begin to figure on the show, but who else would you like to see next on Mike Time Marty?
There's a lot of good comedians, man. Are you in the comedy group?
I'm in a few comedy groups, one for Tauranga, one for Hawke's Bay, and now I'm in for one for Palmerston North. So
join the Auckland one. Those are the biggest ones. Try to join the Auckland comedy clubs. And there's a guy, his name is Stephen Lyons.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Lyons, he's I think he's gonna have the Fringe Festival soon. Dunedin Fringe Festival, I think he's gonna go over there. Who else? I think I mentioned Thomas Chapman before. He's another guy that I think you would click a lot with him. He's really funny guy, and he has, I think he has a very bright future. Hopefully, he sticks to the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And man, whoever you can get to the shows, to your podcast, sorry, get him. Whoever. I'd love to see more local comedians joining in.
Yeah.
They might not have the time right now, but start booking them. And if you want someone that I know of, let me know and I can pull them up for you. Sometimes you need to have someone that you know of, and if I can help, I'll be happy to help, man.
Appreciate it. All right, can you finish off this interview with a joke?
A stand-up joke that I do, or just a joke?
Either one.
Either one. I have one that I just wrote. Let me. Oh, another good tip: always write your stuff. Always write your stuff. It helps a lot. Even sometimes you think that it's stupid and you don't think that people are gonna be laughing. But well, this actually happened to me, and I didn't know that there was ointment here in New Zealand called DP.
Okay.
And I was with my coworkers the other day, and they asked me if I've ever used the DP, and I only heard, "Have you ever had a DP?" And I was for a minute with them, telling them like, I don't think my wife would like something like that, and then we're like, why? It feels really good, smells really nice, and I'm like, I don't think that would smell, three people together doing that stuff. Then when they realized what I was talking about, they were just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're talking about DP. And then they showed me the ointment. I was like, oh shit. But that's not a joke, that's literally just happened. Let's see. Oh, this is a new one that I also have with immigration. It's a little bit of political, not But this immigration shortage in New Zealand is having me worried, man. You know, like right now I saw on the news the other day that they're thinking about getting white people to start doing the fruit picking. And you know how much that salad's gonna cost if white people start picking up the fruit? Not that I eat salad, but hey, you know, it's good to have the option. You know, it's always good to have the option of that.
The funny thing is, when I was in Tauranga, I was doing fruit picking, and I was
There you
I was surrounded by all these Somalians and Indians, and they were like, "Ooh, what the heck is this?" I'm like, "I'm white. Get over it. Let's pick this goddamn fruit."
Yeah, man. You just tell them there's no benefit if I don't work. Wins wouldn't give me some help. Just throw in some jokes like that, you know. Yeah, man, it's I think that was really funny, and I think I also added that if you have any, like, you know, shortage of you know, people doing the fruit picking, just let me know, and I'll do a call. You know, let me, you know, give me a plane, and we'll sort out all the fruit picking in a week. You know, just give us a ban, and we'll get everything done. You know, everything, all the fields are gonna be covered. You know, just in a week. And you know, I got my contacts over there. So yeah, it's interesting, man, that there's actually white people doing fruit picking. Um, but yeah, man, I think that would be one of my most recent jokes that I've done. I cannot think about anyone. I'm pretty sure I wrote another joke that I can think of. Jesus. No. Oh, I started doing exercise, man. I joined the gym, and I do not recommend it. And oh, yeah, when my dad came to New Zealand, he got stuck during COVID, and this I have a Jewish friend, and it was pretty funny because he asked my dad, "Is it that if there are Jews in Mexico?" And my dad said, "Yeah, there's orange juice, pineapple juice, apple juice." You know, it's a silly joke, but yeah, man. I hope I finish up on a high note. If not, go check my channel and laugh more there. And make sure you follow Martin.
Thank you. All right, well, Ed, thank you so much for taking your time. I will make sure to send you the link so you can brag to everyone that you're on Mic Time with Marty, even though it probably doesn't mean much, but still. And again, if there's anyone that you want to throw at me, obviously with my consent, that'd be much appreciated. Let me know. And if you're ever in my neck of the woods, let me know, and I'll do the same with you. And yeah, hopefully when you become big, rich, and famous, or if you have a Netflix special and you want me to be in it, we can do this again sometime.
Well, I'm already big, man. Just the rich and famous part needs to be gone.
I think I need all of them. Like I'm always skinny.
Well, to be honest with you, and this is something that for real happened. Immigration just asked me to lose the weight. That's why I'm on a diet, man. So if I want to get my residency, I need to lose the weight. So turns out New Zealand hates fat people. Yeah, that's true. I'm not even lying, man.
Yeah, I stay skinny. I'm on the benefit, and I talk with celebrities, but people classify me as a celebrity. I'm like, no, no. I just do this because I'm bored and don't have a social life. Okay. All right. Well, again,
That's why you're a cat person. There you go.
that's why. All right. Well, Eddie, what are you doing? Well, it's like 1:25 in the morning. What are you doing tomorrow? Oh, today.
Working. I work from home. I don't do the construction at home. I'm now in the office based, so I work in the office. So yeah, basically all the time, probably from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm in front of the computer dealing with all the documentation, construction, then gym, then the kids, then TikToks.
Well, you have another fellow New Zealander following you. I just found your TikTok, so I gave you a follow.
Thanks so much, man.
Again, let me know if there's anything I can do to help, or vice versa. And don't be a stranger.
Awesome. Take care, man.
So, yeah.
See ya.